Welcome, welcome! It's my dog with the Texas Space Navy, bringing you another Star Citizen video. I'm going to do you another how to make money video, but I will first want to say that this video is sped up ×2, so you don't have to watch like a 20-30 minute long video. So just letting you know ahead of time, that's what I did. So this is how to make money mining. I'm going to take a little prospector out here to show you how you can do that. You can also take a mole out. You can rent these in game. You can purchase them in game, and you can get a really good reward for your time and effort here. I'm going to show you how to get to the Air and Halo, which is a fantastic place to do any kind of spaceship mining. First, let me tell you, I'm leaving from L1, which is one of many refinery stations. I'll put up the other refinery stations in a little window here so you can see which ones to go to. Now, of course, refining is the last step in this whole process, but it's good to know where you can go with your goods. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving from L1. Now, you can do this many different ways, but if you're at L1 or ARC L1, it's not too hard to do. So from ARC L1 to L1, you want to jump until you're about 14 million kilometers away from L1, and then stop your quantum jump by holding down the B button. It's a little different going the other way around. I believe it's down to about 6 million kilometers from ARC L1 is where you want to be. Now, if you want to go from Hurston or ArcCorp, I'm going to put that information on the screen right now for you. I do want to give credit to the Ultimate Star Citizen Mining Guide that you can find at spaceforgames.com/en/games-en/star-citizen-mining. I will put that up there for you guys. It's a fantastic source. That's where I'm getting all these cutouts that I'm putting on the screen now. So let's get further into it, shall we? So you're going to do a lot of mining in this Air and Halo, and trust me, this is where you really want to go to get the goods. So I did stop a little short there from where I wanted to be, but I'm just trying to get my bearings. I normally come from the ARC L1 towards the L1, so I needed to get a little idea of where the Air and Halo was in relation to both of them. So I was like, okay, well, that was stupid. Just do the backwards math and you figure out how far you need to be. So I should stop about 6 million kilometers, and I should be in the middle of the asteroid belt. And again, you could stop anywhere just about in this asteroid belt and find some really good rocks. Now you can see I have appeared in the asteroid belt. This is the Air and Halo. You would have to go to the ARC map on the website to see where this thing is. Or you could accidentally stumble into this place, but I find that highly unlikely. So yeah, if you ever want to find that Air and Halo, this is one of the best ways to do it, the way I did it. But you can also use that chart that I put up as well. That's a well-known way to do it as well. So now I am going to search for rocks that look enticing. And I've already found a laranite rock that has 20% composition of laranite, and the rest is tungsten. So you know what, I might stop and go ahead and do this. A lot of people that go to the Air and Halo don't even bother with laranite. Now let me show you a chart of how much each one of these minerals is going for, and you can kind of get an idea why, because quantanium honestly is the best deal around, and if you can find quantanium, that's what you want to get. But there's other things about quantanium that you got to worry about. Like if you were getting quantanium, the biggest worry would be, how do you get it back before the thing explodes? Because it is a highly volatile substance. This is what you use to jump around systems and stuff. So quantanium has to be mined quickly. So you can break up the rocks and stuff, but once you start the extraction process and get it in your hold, you're going to want to do it quickly. There is a time limit on how quickly you need to get that thing back to a station. And there's a trick to doing it a little bit. You definitely want to break up as much of the quantanium as possible before you start extracting. Then you extract, and if you've still got a little bit of time, you're going to want to do whatever else mining you're going to do right away, because you have about 15 minutes or so to get that back to a refinery station. One of the tricks, which I'll show you later on in this video, once you get back to the refinery station and land, you can get up and suicide, and it'll automatically store your ship, which will also keep your Quantanium from exploding. So I highly recommend you use that until they get something more permanent on death effects and stuff. Then you'll have to actually run in and store your ship. There's other ways to get around that in the future, like having the owner of the ship actually at the station ahead of time. When you land, they can store the ship. That would be another trick you can use. So here you can see that I am mining, and the way you do that, well, I'd have to go through all the keybinds and stuff to teach you with the key bindings, but you're going to want to use the extraction laser to break things up. I highly recommend you get a helix. Some people like some of the other laser heads. I use a helix because it's able to break down any rock out there, just about. And it's the most powerful laser you can get, but it is highly expensive. I think it's what, 108,000 credits. So you'll want to make sure you have some credits before you put this thing on. If you don't have a helix and you're starting out stock, you're going to have to mine some of the lesser rocks, so to speak. Some of the rocks that aren't as hard. Like the Layanite rock I could probably get away with, but you'd have to be... It's really tricky to break it down with you know, something that's not... with the stock laser. So you really want to scan the asteroid field. You can see these blue squares. Right now, that's what the scanning looks like when you find something. And there's all sorts of rocks around here to go to. When you get close enough to a rock, you'll be able to do a full scan. This is more like a pinging scan. So I'm pinging these rocks. As I get close enough, I can use a secondary trigger to actually scan these rocks and see what they're composed of. You know, the hardness, the size, the mass, etc. I can see all of that by scanning those rocks. Then I would actually use the laser, and I can control the power of the laser to increase or decrease the amount of energy I'm putting into the rock. You'll want to keep it in the green zone and, you know, not let it get in the red zone. If it gets in the red zone and explodes, you're pretty much damaging your ship and destroying your rock. So the green zone's the sweet spot. That's how you're going to make your money, and that's what you're looking to do, right? After you've broken up the rocks a couple of times, once the big rock and then the smaller rocks, you'll be able to extract using the extraction laser. That will require you to click, you know, you'll have to switch out between the lasers, which should be done with a click of a button. I would check your key bindings or create a key binding that'll allow you to toggle between the two. As you saw there, when you get back to the refinery, you'll want to land, and you can suicide to store your ship so that, you know, you don't lose anything. People don't steal your ship. They don't blow it up on the pad, and you lose all your hard-earned money. So once you suicide, you can run all the way over to the refinery area, which usually you have to take an elevator to, and you'll be able to start the refining process. Now, you'll want to choose from which ship you're refining, and in my case, it's going to be the Prospector. And then you can choose which minerals, ores, etc. you want to refine. Some stations give you a bonus to certain ores and minerals. Others give you a negative. You just kind of have to look. In this case, this one gives me a negative on Hephaesite, but everything else is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and just refine everything here. And as you can see, I have another job that... or you'll see here in a minute, I have another job that I did Saturday with my org, and I got to give those guys the proceeds from that job here in the coming days. Actually, it looks like there's less than 2.5 hours left on that job. I'm just going to throw all that on my Caterpillar once it's complete and take it to sell it. Now, you have to choose a refining process when you're here as well. I usually choose the one that's very slow, but highly productive. As you can see here, it's super slow, but you will get the most bang for your buck. You just have to wait a few days. And you'll see that I have to wait a day and 6 hours on that particular load. So come back and I'll tell you when I have that money for it, what kind of money I made from that run. But that's how you are going to mine and refine. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on mining. Do you enjoy it? Is it something you can see yourself doing, or you just can't stand it? Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button. I really do appreciate all the contributions to the channel. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. I'll see you out in the verse.